Here we have verse 52 of the 7th chapter of the Gospel of John. Nicodemus is raising an objection to the attack, really, of these religious leaders who are trying to find some pretext upon which to arrest Jesus. The officers that they had sent for that purpose have returned empty-handed, but Nicodemus is indicating to them that really to just arrest this man on the basis of the present evidence would be a conspicuous violation of their standards of due process, standards in which these leaders of the Jewish state took great pride. And so Nicodemus is really asking them, if that's appropriate, that they should go in that direction. But these are so blinded with rage that they hardly are willing to contemplate the objection that Nicodemus has raised. They are indicating to him that it's not really feasible that Jesus would be a prophet, given that he originates from the northern region. If not a prophet, then let alone could he be the Messiah. And they continue to press their point home in this 52nd verse of the chapter, apokrithesan, from apokrinomai. I answer. This is a deponent verb, third person plural, aorist active indicative. They answered. Apokrithesan actually takes the dative, and then along with that we have the other verb, apon, which is from lego, I say. It's a first aorist form here with the alpha nu ending. So they answered, and apon said auto to him, referring to Nicodemus. And then again, you have a question that expects a negative answer, may used with the indicative here. So not also su, and the su there is emphatic. So the idea, you are not also, starting a question, ek tes, that is out of the Galileis, art thou. Ek, the preposition, takes the genitive that we find here. Tes used customarily with a proper name, Galileis, Galilee. And then a is the second person singular, present active indicative of a me, I am. So you're not also of Galilee, are you? And the question could be a little ambiguous. The simple sense of it is, you're not from Galilee, are you? As if the reason that Nicodemus was raising a voice in support of Jesus, or at least in defense of him, was because Nicodemus himself might be from Galilee, which was clearly not the case. Maybe the more subtle sense of it is, you're not from Galilee in the sense that you are not endorsing or siding with this fellow who is a Galilean, which in itself would be a little bit of a dubious position to take. And then they continue, eraneson. This is from the verb erunao, which means to search, to look for, search something out. This is the second person singular, aorist active imperative. So search, kai, and then also this one is the second person singular, aorist active imperative as well. So search and see, search and look, hoti, that, ek tes Galileis, same phrase as above, out of the Galilee, prophetes, a prophet, uk ageretai. This is from agero, I raise up. In the middle voice, it has the idea of raising oneself up, something like that, kind of a reflexive sense to it. And so search and see that out of Galilee no prophet rises up. This is not technically the case. There certainly were some who at least were from the general vicinity of the north, but nevertheless they're taking the point here that the true prophetic voices that had shaped the history of Israel had, generally speaking, come from the south, from the region of Jerusalem and its environs. And if that's true of prophets, how much more it would be true with respect to the Messiah. Of course, they had the text from Micah, which specifically mentions Bethlehem, and they were relying on that as well. There is the one text that we find in Isaiah about the northern regions being exposed to a great light. They seem to be ignoring that text, but resting their case basically against Nicodemus on the basis of the fact that Jesus at least apparently came from, and therefore apparently was born in Galilee, and on that basis could not possibly be the Messiah that some people were affirming that he might in fact be.